Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we finally reached the town of Prox, and we learned quite a lot about the plight that the townspeople have been suffering for quite some time. And here we are finally at Mars Lighthouse, and we were tasked with finding Agation cars and retrieving the Mars Star. So let's get to it, shall we? Also, one tiny detail that I didn't mention. You can see right away how the effect of the strong blizzard is already affecting Mars Lighthouse. Not only is the outside starting to freeze over, but so is the inside. In fact, there are a couple of sections of the lighthouse that have been completely locked due to the strong cold and wind. But anyways, before we do anything else, right here we have a chest. So let's go ahead and get to it. Because it is no simple chest, it is actually the final mimic of the game. This one is level 38, it has 1008 HP, 84 synergy, 397 attack, 126 defense, 224 agility and 18 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other mimic. It normally yields 1668 experience points, which then become 2168 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 772 coins, which then become 1003, and it has a guaranteed drop of a cookie. Now, as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Debilitate, Siren, Sleep, Curse and Condemn synergies, and its new move is the Spark Plasma synergy, which is a Jupiter based attack with a power rating of 180, a cost of 37 synergies and a range of 7. So, of course, since it is weak to fire, let's actually switch Jenna here, and let's actually use Petra to completely immobilize it. And let's begin the assault. And let's throw in one attack from Mia. I doubt it will actually kill it, but we can add some damage. Alright. Can we do anything else? Just to be safe, let's use ground with Isaac and let's continue on with the offensive. Let's use core and finally shine. And that should be enough. It actually may not be enough. Alright, it was. Before we do anything else, let's set all of our Jinn back. And let's get Ivan back. Alright, there we go. So yeah, as I was saying, unfortunately some parts of the lighthouse have been frozen over completely. And as we can see here, we have what looks like a giant dragon head connected to a circuit right next to the strange white pedestal here, which would normally have an open flame over it, but right now it is frozen. So right here, as you can see, it is also frozen. This is the path that we would normally take if we actually wanted to reach the Eyrie, as you'll see soon enough. But for now, here we have a new enemy. This is a Doodlebug. It is level 35, it has 202 HP, 22 synergy, 329 attack, 109 defense, 173 agility and 12 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 175 and a Mercury resistance of 25. And it has a Venus and Jupiter elemental power of 95. It normally yields 417 experience points, which then become 542 if we finish it off with a Mercury Gene. It drops 176 coins, which then become 228. And there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop a Smoke Bomb. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Sonic Wave monster skill and the Briar and Wild Growth synergies. So yeah, the Doodlebug is probably one of the weakest enemies in Mars Lighthouse. And I just remember, Garrett learned Inferno, so this might be a good opportunity to actually show it. So I'm not going to attack with Ivan. though it does have fairly high resistance, so yeah, it did not completely destroy them. That's fine. Let's quickly take them out. And me a level up. Alright. So, yeah. Right here. If you don't hold a star, you shall not ascend to the heavens. Begone! So, we cannot do anything here right now. We need to obtain the Mars star first. So, let's head back. Okay, so right here, if we go around the ice, we have yet another gigantic ball of ice, though luckily this one is nowhere near as strong as the one in the northern reaches. But, speaking of strong, here we have the Firebird. It is level 35, it has 303 HP, 98 synergy, 376 attack, 124 defense, 259 agility and 32 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 193 and a Mercury resistance of 25. And it has a Mars elemental power of 125. It normally yields 5,838 experience points, which then become 589 if we finish it off with a Mercury gem. It drops 304 coins, which then become 395. And there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop a Water of Life. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Regen Dance and Fire Dance monster skills, and the Inferno, Supernova and Searing Beam synergies. And of course the Flee command. And similar to the Phoenix, they also take 2 actions every turn. And we were caught by surprise, so let's see if they don't just run away instantly. Alright, luckily, for whatever reason, they only took 1 action. Alright, let's see if we can actually take all of them out. There we have Supernova. Then Fire Dance. Hopefully everyone won't die. Alright. 11,676. Holy shit. Alright. So that was quite a lot of EXP. Unfortunately, we are actually also quite weak. So let's heal up. Oh yeah. So we could go through here, but it's pretty much useless right now. But for now, what do we actually want to do? Actually, wait. No, sorry. Sorry, I got confused. And we actually do want to go through here. Okay, and right here, kind of similar to the pipes, we have some pipes similar to the ones that we saw back at Mercury Lighthouse, which I don't really know what these pipes would be carrying, but anyways, because there aren't really any water-based puzzles, at least in this section of Mars Lighthouse. But anyways, here we have yet another new enemy. Here we have the Raptor. It is level 35. It has 366 HP, no synergy, 354 attack, 96 defense, 180 agility and 19 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 175, a Mars resistance of 72, a Jupiter resistance of 25 and a Mercury resistance of 100. And it has a Jupiter elemental power of 110. It normally yields 521 experience points, which then become 677 if we finish it off with a Jupiter gem. it drops 295 coins, which then become 383, and for whatever reason this enemy does not drop any item whatsoever. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Wing Stroke and Twin Beaks monster skill. And we get to go first. And the side effect of the crystal rod triggered, so that was nice. Alright, so right here we have a Mars Gene, which unfortunately we cannot do anything about right now. Felix, check the ice. A shaft of ice is poking up through the floor. So the first time I played the game, for whatever reason I never put 2 and 2 together and realized that you had to use grind. I remember using pound a couple of times and then heading back because I thought that I had missed something, but no, all you have to do is use grind right here. And now we have a giant crack right next to the gigantic wall of ice. And somehow the ice pillar reformed, but whatever. Alright, there we have another new enemy. This is a Minus Warrior. It is level 35, it has 353 HP, no synergy, 397 attack, 130 defense, 164 agility and 20 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 152, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 100 and a Jupiter resistance of 48. And it has a Venus elemental power of 110. It normally yields 525 experience points, which then become 682 if we finish it off with a Jupiter gene. It drops 276 coins, which then become 358, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop the Klothos Distaff, which is an artifact weapon which I'll go into detail later. Now, as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Power Crush and Sack monster skills. And lucky us, we were caught by surprise. Okay. So, let's see if we can actually take out the Firebird. I don't much care for the Minus Warrior right now. Alright, so the Klothos Distaff. It is an artifact, but it doesn't really have an unleash. But anyways, let's quickly go over it, shall we? The Klothos Distaff has an attack boost of 168, and it can be used from your inventory to restore 1000 HP. Alright, so moving on. Regarding the Klothos Distaff, well, actually a couple of things. First off, it is actually part of a trio of weapons that are all named after the 3 Sisters of Fate of Greek mythology, those being Clotho, Atropos and Lachesis. And of course, since we have 3 weapons, you would normally do a comparison between them. And in any comparison between the 3, the Klothos Distaff will always come up short, because of course it doesn't really have an unleash. So it is often a competition between the Atropos and the Lachesis weapon, which we'll go into more detail later. But one final thing about the weapon itself. Now that we are at the final stretch of the game, and we are going to start running into a couple of enemies which have really useful item drops, I'm going to showcase the RNG method for all of these weapons. If you don't know what the RNG is, it basically stands for random number generator. Basically, for every single action that you take during combat, as well as any single action that the enemy may or may not take, there's a hidden value, and at the end of battle, if you take all these values together and they reach a specific number, that may actually help you to instantly get the item drop for that particular weapon. So there are actually a couple of RNGs for pretty much all of the weapons that enemies can drop in the game, as well as the defensive gear and other healing items and forgeable materials. And for the first Let's Play actually use the Golden Sun wiki for it, and I think I showed the Giant Axe and the Aura Gloves. However, for the Lost Age, some of the information that can be found in the wiki is either missing or incomplete. So in order to solve that, I actually looked around in YouTube, and I actually found a specific channel by YouTuber Starfire Cold. He has 3 videos, which are the RNG compilations for the weapons, armor and other items. And they were immensely useful in recording the RNG methods for the Let's Play. So, of course, credit goes to him, and I will be posting the links to his channel and all of the videos in the video description here. So, I will be showing the RNG method for the Clothos distaff right near the end of this particular video. But for now, let's continue on with the exploration. And as you can see here, we have the same strange stone seal that we saw back at Contigo and a few other places. And we'll soon be able to do something about it. But for now, let's continue. And I just realized that we have quite a lengthy room, so I think I'll go into a bit more detail about the RNG method. So, for the videos that I saw, the YouTuber Starfire Cold had a specific team setup where all of his party members were at level 54 or between 50 and 55. Now, I tried out all of the RNGs, and you don't necessarily need to have a team that is actually that high level. All you really need to do is just follow the instructions and make sure that the battle order is the same as shown in the videos, and that everything else is pretty much followed through. And I just messed up on that one, sorry. So yeah, I will be doing it mostly with a team between level 30 to, or rather 35 to 40 for most of them. All you really have to do is make sure that your team is at least at the necessary level to use the synergies that the RNG method requires. So other than that, as long as you do anything else that the RNG dictates, you should be fine. Alright. So yeah, this puzzle right here is actually fairly easy, it's just that I'm a bit impatient. All you have to do is move the statue along, and at the same time using it as a shield for us. Luckily for us, whenever you use any synergy, such as move, time apparently stops, so the stone heads will not approach us while we are vulnerable. Oh, there we go. Come on, I really want to be done with this room. Almost there. There we go. Alright, now we can proceed. There we go. And right here we have a extremely simple sliding puzzle. And right here we have the very same dragon head and the circuit, only right now we have actually an open flame. So if we use blaze here, the dragon head actually spews a giant fireball. And even though we can technically do this infinitely, if we do it one more time, the crack doesn't become any bigger, even though technically it should be more than enough to melt the gigantic ice. But anyways. Alright, let's take out the doodle box. quickly use burst right here. And okay, so this room, at first it seems like there's absolutely nothing here, but if you notice the pattern, if you use reveal here, we have another one of the stone seals, but of course we can't do anything about that yet, but let's keep that in mind for later. So I didn't mention it before, but there's actually one more enemy, well actually a couple of enemies, but there's one more that we can actually encounter in the section of Mars Lighthouse that we are exploring. So hopefully it will show up. Alright, there we go. And here yet again we have the same small circuit and the open flame. Actually, let's quickly set up a shortcut for Blaze. And there we go, done. There we have yet again the stone seal. But even more important than that, here we have another piece of the Orichalcum. If you did not transfer over a save data, this will most likely be the first piece of Orichalcum that you obtain. And here we are at this room. So, I want to quickly set up a shortcut for pound. And let's wait one moment. Okay. So, by the way that this room is laid out, you're actually supposed to walk from the sides and then use pound under the protection of the ice wall. However, you can just do this far more easy by going through the center, running as fast as you can, and then using pound, because as I mentioned before, using most synergies apparently stops time, so you will not be hit by the gigantic fireball while you are vulnerable. So alright, let's take out the raptor. And here we have a slightly more complex sliding puzzle, though it is still quite easy. And we have a Mercury Gem. And of course, it is hostile. Here we have Balm. It is level 35, it has 940 HP, 88 synergy, 300 attack, 94 defense, 261 agility and 30 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Mercury Gem. It yields 1112 experience points, which then become 1445 if we finish it off with a Mars Gem. It drops 720 coins, which then become 936. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Deluge, Frost Spiral, Ice Missile, Mega Cool and Freeze Prison synergies, and of course the Flee command. So let's actually get Jenna and let's use Petra to completely immobilize it, and let's see here. Let's actually try and use Forge and Kindle all in the same turn to fully boost everyone. Alright, let's use ground here and let's use core. Just to be safe, let's boost our agility, though I still think that the Mercury Gem might be faster, so it might go before us on the next turn. And let's use Shine. $365. 423. Alright, let's see here. Do we have anything else? Maybe I'll try to drop its agility a little bit more, and let's use Scorch. Paralyze a foe, no. Maybe just to be safe, let's use Love. That's fine. He's absolutely dead. And nice level up. Nice. And so did Gary. Anyone else? No. Alright. Jenna found the Mercury Gene Balm. So, let's get all of them back. And let's give Balm to Pierce. So, let's quickly go over Balm, shall we? Its battle effect is that it revives all fallen party members with a 60% accuracy with 60% of their HP, so it is potentially quite a useful one. It may also completely fail and do nothing. As for the stat bonus that it provides, it gives a plus 13 to base HP and plus 4 to base synergy. Alright, we are done with this room. And right here we have the teleport lapis. And we gave it to Pierce, though I actually really want to give this to Isaac. So, first off, bestows teleport when equipped. Let's trade it over for the, let's see, the nuts. Why not? Alright. And the teleport synergy is what we can use at the stone seals here. But that is actually not all. Not only does it take you from one to the other, if we actually use it outside, we can actually use it to travel to any of the towns that we have been to. So yeah, quite a useful synergy. I kinda wish that we got it a bit earlier in the game, because, well, sometimes traveling back and forth between the Great Western Sea and the Great Eastern Sea was a bit of a hassle. But yeah, sadly you can't travel to, say, the Sea of Time Islet or the Treasure Isle, because they don't really have an inn or a town where you can rest. So that's slightly annoying, but even then, the teleport synergy is immensely useful. And on the topic of that, we just got the Orichalcon, and we are still carrying over a few rusty weapons as well as other materials. That is because I was actually waiting for the moment in which we actually got the teleport synergy. So off screen I will go and get the a few items forged. I'm actually going to take that Orichalcon and see if I can get a Nebula wand for Mia. It may seem like a bit of a waste for the Orichalcon, but trust me, it's actually not, and we'll get more chances to get the material later. Alright, so we explored a sizable chunk of Mars Lighthouse and we got the teleport synergy. I think I'm going to end it here for now, but I will showcase the RNG method for the Clothos Distal. So we'll do that, and I think that's going to be all for now. Alright, so I just saved the game and I reset. This is a different save file, but the party is pretty much at the same level. And I have been using the restore point functionality of the virtual console, so I do know for a fact that the very next random encounter should be 2 minus knights. So let's get to it. Alright, here we go. Of course, we get to go first. So, first, we want to focus Clay Spire on the one on the left. It doesn't really matter which, just make sure that you always keep focus on one of the two enemies. Usually that particular enemy is the one that actually drops the item, but in this case, since both of them drop it, you could choose either one. In this case I'm going for the one on the left, but make sure that you keep focusing on the very same one. Don't just randomly change to the other one, because that might actually mess up the RNG. Alright, and now we'll have Felix attack the other minus warrior, the one that we did not focus the big arrow on. Then Jenna can just defend. And as for Sheva, I'll have her use Whirl on this one. It doesn't necessarily have to be Whirl or any other offensive Jupiter Gene. It just has to be any Jupiter Gene that can take him out. And just to be safe, we'll have Pierce attack the other one. So, Whirl should take out the minus warrior, and then Felix should finish the battle. And if we did everything correctly, according to the RNG, we should be getting the Clothos this time. Alright, so that is one RNG down. Next time we're going to continue exploring Mars Lighthouse. See you guys!